Welcome to our fourth vlog. This one's going to be a little bit different from the other ones. It's going to be a little bit longer, and it's also going to have a little bit more history. What we want to talk about this week is Ringplay's Black Box, and it's important because it's a really critical part of Shakespeare in Paradise, and it's really changed the way in which we schedule and plan our festival. So this time we're going to take a little bit longer, and we're going to talk about the Black Box. Ringplay Productions, or the people who founded Ringplay Productions, were part of the Dundas Centre for the Performing Arts and were part of the Dundas repertory season up until 1998. But then in 1988 there was a change of management at the Dundas and a change of policy. The Dundas went from being a theatre that produced shows and seasons to a rental space. The place that was the rehearsal hall when we were producing productions was rented out to a church. When the church came in, they converted the whole of the rehearsal hall into one big auditorium with a number of different things. There was a stage at one end, and there was a kind of sound booth place at the other end, and then there was a sort of little kiosk office kind of place, and then there were the church offices, and also public bathrooms had been put in.
In 1981, when I came back from New York, this building, this rehearsal hall, was here, and the previous manager had already built in this separating door. And there was, I think, a plan at some point in time to do something over here, but nobody seriously gave any thought to it. So I suggested in 81 that we do a smaller theater. Well, 81 came and went, and 30 more years, or however long it was. And then when I was in charge, I decided we were going to do something about it. That would have been 2 years ago. We came in as managers. Ringplay Productions came in as managers of the Dundas. Within the first week of being managers, I came in here on a Sunday by myself with a measuring tape, and I measured up the entire building. And I went home and I got my iPad and I started to design what we have now as the Black Box.
Where do you want to start? Here?
No. This structure was here. This was an office. It didn't have any windows, but it was a storage facility. And that was the only thing that we actually repurposed. Everything else, as you would have seen from the very first photograph, this was just a fully open space. That was a business office. That was divided into two separate rooms, a secretary and the pastor's office. Now everything else, these walls we put up as the dividing walls. These we put up. You'll see the photograph of Carrie Collins stapling this last, Carrie and I think it was Hugo, stapling up this last section to make the divide between the two sections. I think you should come out here.
Okay.
This whole structure was set up with a structure within a structure. So I had to make the determination how much space we needed for actors to make their entrances so that we have a complete circle, which makes it the flexible space that it is. We have entrances in many areas so that people can enter from any place they want to. This would be the entrance for the public, as you can see, Kimmer, and this would be the actual space into the theater. This is one configuration, probably the most popular configuration, which is the sort of proscenium without really a proscenium, but it's the space that most people will recognize. And as you can see from these openings, these are the entrances. They could come from backstage and they can walk all the way around and enter here, or they can walk, close by, wherever they came in from. So this was the whole structure built within, which gave us the opportunity to do this. We'll have photos. You'll see photos in this video of different configurations, like the first configuration for Colored Girls, and you could see what took place there. This was kind of the setup we had for Sizwe Banzia's Dead, Gunboy's Rhapsody, and a number of other kind of productions.
So how many seats does this?
Well, it varies. Our ideal is 80, but we have had, there's a shot that you're going to see also of the fashion show, where we had 150 or so seats set up in here. So from a production standpoint, I think the most we had in was 100, but 80 is our prime sort of setup, what we like to work with, the most comfortable seating arrangement. Let me read what it says. It says, the Dundas Centre for the Performing Arts, under the management of Ringplay Productions Limited, gratefully acknowledges the contributions of the following in the development of this theatre space. Philip A. Burrows, designer. Terrence and Chivago McSweeney, construction. Patrick Newman, electrical engineer. Hugo Adley, painting contractor. Dolores Archer Adderley, manager. Shakespeare in Paradise. Jason Johnson, Carrie Collins, Anthony Jervis. The first performance in this space was for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough, written by Entezaki Shang, directed by Nicolette Bethel, July 18th, 2014. Now this is a storage / junk / whatever room. Costumes, set pieces, extra chairs. I have no idea what this was for. It looks like a harp. There's a piano here, baby grand.
It's an actual piano.
It's an actual baby grand piano. It's here built in. Here we have a flats and sets and tables and chairs and then this this walkway takes you right through, takes you into the green room, which is actually green. And we have, this is where actors hang out before they go on stage. That's the 2 makeup tables. There's a bathroom with a shower. Kitchenette here with a microwave and sink. This is where people hang out in the green room. And this is where they dress. The first thing that people see when they come into this space is the box office. So this is the box office / bar. So as you come in, the box office is behind this curtain, and that's where she does her ticket booth stuff. And then the rest of this is bar area. And these are connections that we use to bridge our lights. And then we serve from these 2 windows. So that's the bar. So people come and buy a ticket here and get their drink from here, or vice versa, or depends on how crowded it is, they'll mix it up. Just a little foyer area where people hang out. We've seen the sign before.
So that's the history of the black box, and you've had a guided tour. But we can't stop this episode without giving people a little taste of what the experience of working in the black box is like.
Acting in the black box is quite a different experience. I had the opportunity to perform in Dis Sweet Things in the main theater, and you don't see the audience, is one thing. You're used to just the lights, but in the black box you have this very intimate experience with the audience and with the other actors who are working alongside you, because the space is so small. There were nights when you were literally in the audience as you performed, and that's an overwhelming experience, both emotionally and physically, because one, I broke my toes. I almost ran into a person, but instead I ended up hitting the edge of a column.
That wasn't the night we did the video, eh?
No, it wasn't the night we did the video. It took a lot of getting used to, but I prefer acting in the black box as opposed to in the main theater, just because the experience feels more real, and organic, and you feel as though you're inviting the audience into that experience with you. Directing in the black box is another thing. It's different because navigating the space as an actor and as a director, two different things. Because now you have to figure out, okay, what's the best way of approaching this to ensure that the audience understands and is as involved as you would like them to be in the piece. And being on the floor, acting, completely different from standing back and trying to envision where you'd want your actors to go and how you'd want them to enter, exit, and use the stage and manipulate it. Again, I would prefer the black box because then again you have that limited space, and even so you still have the entire building, because once you're on the floor, the theater really encompasses everything behind the black walls as well. Everything in the theater is connected.
And then lighting and sound. I mean,
lighting and sound, completely different from the main theater.
This is where all the lighting happens. These are the dimmer packs and the controller, sound. So everything that takes place in there happens from there. 21 hue lights, which are the little bulb lights. They're each controlled by Wi-Fi. And then the dimmer lights are the ones that are on the par cans, silver can looking things.
You have so much technological advancements with the hue lights, and then so many spotlights to work with. It's an amazing experience and so much fun seeing how the set can come to life with different lighting. A blue light will do something much more different than a red light would, and then you can mix it. It's amazing.
Yeah.